So that drove me nuts, right? It's just not very efficient. So we did the same model. We had a co-working space essentially where nobody has an office or a desk, and we felt it was good for culture too because there were people who were resentful that didn't get the corner office. There were people that were resentful that didn't get the choice spot. And then there was a divide between the status divide between the top agents who had the best offices and then the rookie agents who did not. So we just said, look, this is not the way of the future, we don't think. We feel like everyone should be equal. We're gonna sit in the offices, in the cubes and in the open area, just like everyone else. Yeah. Everyone works on their laptop and their smartphone anyway. And we felt like if you were sitting in the office all the time, you weren't doing what you do best, which is selling. Being in front of people, making connections, relationships, really going out there looking at inventory. So we just said, we gotta change this model a little bit, and that's what we did too. The other thing we did was that when I first came into the business, I was shocked again, and I said, wow, there's so much human intervention, and then I started realizing why. It's because you need a human being to actually do the transaction, and it's a very complicated cycle. It's a very complicated process that, frankly, technology just can't solve. So what we did was everything we did was, at the heart of what we did was keeping the agent in the center of the transaction, right? The center of the transaction was dealing with the client and the other agent, right? Because it's all about relationships in this business, and it's all about interfacing, having a good relationship with the other agents on the other side, but also knowing your client, right? And so everything we did was to try to keep them there. So paperwork, we did not want an agent to handle paperwork. We did not want them to chase signatures. We did not want them to tag documents. We did not want them to scan documents, fax them, email them, go visit their clients and get them to sign things. We just did not want that to happen. So we actually hired staff for that. We hired a staff to handle all of the paperwork. It makes them much more efficient, keeps them focused on what they need to be doing, which is looking at properties and meeting people and selling, quite frankly. So that was one thing we could not reinvent.